welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra, and today I want to work on this little mold here for Valentine's Day. I did see Michelle from Glitz and Glitter do something similar. She took a coaster mold and turned it into a shaker coaster. That's what I want to do. So I have this coaster mold here, and I have an ounce of resin, and I'm going to use some pink glitter. Mix that up. Such a pretty glitter. Okay. I'm going to pinch it. And basically, I just want to get it in the channel there. I'm going to stop right there. And just do this one. And I'm just going to run along inside that channel and disturb any bubbles. And that will be it for right now. And then we'll come back and put a clear, I want to do a clear top, or clear, fill it up clear. I don't know why I'm trying to have a hard time talking. So I will see you as soon as this tacks up a little bit. Okay, this is cured. I have some resin poured and mixed. I did not run this through my vacuum chamber. I did, however, heat up part A in a warm water bath. That is the resin part. When I say warm water bath, what I have is the Let's Resin resin warmer, and basically I just turn it on. I don't cover it because I don't like the cover on it because of the condensation, but I do set it in there for 20 minutes at 120 degrees. If you don't have that, what I've done before I've gotten that was I would get a bowl. You want a bowl dedicated to your craft room, but a bowl, and I would fill it with hot tap water, and I'd set part A in that for about 15-20 minutes. You want to dry the bottle off really well. You don't want water getting in the resin. And then the resin will be easier to mix, easier to pour, easier to work with, especially in a cold room. Just know that when you do that, you shorten the work time that you have. So I am going to fill this up. I'm not adding any color. I just think that the shaker bits that I plan on putting in here will add more than enough color. I do want to dome this. I have a hard time seeing in this light sometimes when it's domed without over pouring it. I think I'm going to stop right there. And I will spritz this with 99% isopropyl alcohol, and what that does is it pops any bubbles that come up. Before I do that, I want to get my dotting tool or my silicone tool. I just want to go along the edge and force any bubbles that are hiding on the edge to come to the surface. And then I will take the 99% isopropyl alcohol, I will spray it, and that will pop any bubbles that rise to the surface. I'm going to let this sit, I don't know, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and then I will turn my heat mat on and we will be back for the next part. Okay, this is cured. I'll pop it out of the mold. I did turn my heat mat on about an hour or so after I poured this. That's nice. Real nice. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to drill a hole, but I need to get some masking tape. And I want to come up here. So I'm going to be drilling it with a pink. I use the masking tape to give the drill bit something to grip onto so it doesn't just skip across the resin. So I'll probably fast forward this part. Okay, get some alcohol. I'm going to spray some paper towel. And I'll pick up that powder. Okay, I'm going to take this and wipe it out really good. Remove that. I'm just going to get a dry paper towel and get that powder out. Okay, I'm going to get set up for the next step, and I will be right back. All right, I have some piece of acetate here, and what I did was I took this, and you have the open side here. See, I flipped it over to the back side, and you want to take your acetate, you want to place it on there, and the reason I put it on the back side is because it's not going to sink in. You just grab your marker, and you want to go, you don't want to go all the way out to the edge. You want to come in from the edge about a millimeter from the edge, maybe 2 millimeters from the edge, about a 16th from the edge, and then you want to cut on the outside of the black, and then what that'll give you is a piece of acetate. We'll keep that on there so you can see the black, where the black writing is. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, so that when I do use UV resin, there's going to be a little bit of exposed epoxy here. It's not going to be like from edge to edge, the acetate, so that the epoxy will be able to stick to epoxy. So even though this will be adhered down with UV resin, the top coat is going to be epoxy. So that's a little safeguard how I do it. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of liquid latex. Close that up. I like to keep it closed. It stays fresher longer. And let's see, I'm just going to pour some out in the middle. The more you put on, the longer it takes to dry. So you want to thin coat, but not too thin, not too thick. You'll get the hang of it once you start doing it. You don't want it too thick. But I do want it to go all the way to the edge. And then once I get to the edge, I'll pat down. Do a little tap. You can even do this with your fingers. I will come back as soon as this liquid latex dries, and we'll fill these up with some pretties and go on to the next step. This is ready. I have the liquid latex on there. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take the plastic off of the acetate, the plastic off. There's plastic on both sides. So I'm going to remove without scratching it. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to remove on the other side. Okay, there's the plastic. I'm going to put that there. First thing is I want to add one of these little acrylic hearts. I'm going to put that in there. Make sure I get a nice one. Oh, nice. I like this one. And then I want to put this little pink acrylic heart in there. I want to put a little bow, little acrylic bow. Let's see. Let's put this heart in there, and let's put a blue star in there. Okay. Now I'm going to put some pink confetti hearts in there. Give it some sparkle. I'm going to put some white confetti stars, or iridescent confetti stars, and some red confetti stars. Okay. Now I have these little acrylic diamonds. I'm going to put a pile of them in there. And I have, these are, I believe, size SS 12, I believe. So I'm going to sprinkle some in there. This adds a lot of bling. And I have some of these iridescent rhinestones. Just going to pile some in there, like so. I have some of these beads. They're so pretty. So I'm going to add some of those. Like that. Let me get this stuff picked up. Now I'm going to add some of this colorful glass. I'll try to have what I can linked in the description box. This is stuff I've collected over the years. So there's that. So that's what we have so far for our shaker. Looks so pretty. I'm going to take the acetate, I'm going to stick it over that, but first I'm going to get some gloves on. I'm going to get my dotting tool and the high viscosity UV resin. Pour a little bit in there. Now what I want to do is I want to take the UV resin and I want to place a line of UV resin as close to the inside edge of this little shaker. Let me just move some of these out of the way. Put a little bit more just off the edge. Just in case some of it drips down. We don't have our pretty stuff stuck to the inside edge. That's good. But you want to make sure when you do this that you don't leave any gaps. I usually do epoxy for this step, and then I put the acetate on and then let that completely cure for 24 hours before I move on to the next step. But I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to top coat it with epoxy, and I'm going to take the epoxy down onto the sides of this whole thing. So that it will seal it in. So you want epoxy on epoxy. If that makes any sense. Because UV resin does not adhere to regular epoxy resin. You know, you can't scuff it up. Like I could have took sandpaper and scuffed that up. You get a better adhesion with the UV on epoxy, but the way I'm going to do it works too. Now I'm going to take my little dotting tool and I'm just going to roll around the whole edge. I'm looking, I got the light. I'm looking into the light, looking into the light. I'm looking, the light is directing down onto the piece. And I'm seeing where the shine of the UV resin, look, there's a little pull away right here. So what you can't see me do is I am tilting my head to get the best view of this. So I'm going to wipe off the end of my tool. Put this on my light. I have my UV light right here. I have my UV torch. I'm going to pick up the plastic, make sure I don't have anything on it. And then I'm going to, oh, I just grabbed it, hold on. I told you the static is something else in this room. Try to set it down as neatly as possible. And now I'm going to use my silicone tool to move this plastic around. And again, I'm looking at the light coming in this way and the light coming in this way to make sure that the plastic covers the opening. And it does. Take my light and I'll touch my silicone tool to the plastic. Turn on the light. I'm going to set this in my UV light for 2 minutes. Okay, I have, this has been cured for 2 minutes in the UV light. I've got some resin mixed up here. I did not run it through my vacuum chamber, but I did heat up part A in a warm water bath. So I'm just going to put some resin on. And I'm going to drag it out to the edge. And I have the liquid latex on there. So if it happens to go over the side, I am not stressed about it. I do want to get all the way to the edge. And this will seal in because I didn't take the acetate edge to edge. This will eventually have epoxy on epoxy once I get it all the way to the edge. Okay, I think that's good. And I'm going to let this cure up. What I have here, I stuck in the hole that I drilled. I have these little hole makers from Little Windows. And I'm just going to pull that out, stick that in there. I didn't want resin to get in there because I want to fill this up with glycerin and water. I have a mixture of 2 parts glycerin, 1 part water, and it is distilled water. You want to make sure you use distilled water because you don't want any mold growing in your shakers. So I'm just going to slowly fill this up. And I did, just want to let you know, I did drill the hole at the very top of the heart. I didn't want to drill it down in here because you don't want a big air pocket. I'll show you when I'm filling it up what I mean. I'm going to time lapse it until, or fast forward it until we get to that part. Okay, get this out. I have it tilted to where this part of the heart is full and down here is full. You can see where the water line is. And that is because I don't want a huge air pocket in here. And I'm going to be tilting this heart in a way that the water fills up without leaving a big air pocket. Now, if I had drilled the hole here, I would already had to stop filling it. And I would have that much of an air pocket. So I'm just going to start tilting in until I can manipulate how I want the water glycerin mixture. You do want an air pocket. I just don't want a huge air pocket. We'll start pulling back a little bit on that nozzle. I don't know if you can still see it. I have to film it this way. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Now I'm gonna get some paper towel and I'm gonna dry off any spilled water glycerin. If you press it, you can see it rising out of there. You don't want to be squeezing on it. I'm going to get a baby wipe. It's got some isopropyl alcohol. Now I'm going to get some, this is regular UV resin. It's not high viscosity. And I'm going to place it on that opening. I'm going to try and get some UV resin down in that. There you go. I'm going to cure it. I'm going to add some more UV resin. I'm going to go in stages. Cure it. Put some more on. Now I'm going to widen that little seal. I may come back and do a real thin top coat with some epoxy. That's later. That's if I feel I need it. And actually cover the sides with epoxy. I'm going to put this in my big lamp for 2 minutes and we'll be back to take off the liquid latex and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, let's take off the liquid latex. Yeah, I'm going to probably, after I'm done filming this, I'll probably do just a small top coat. Just to smooth out the sides a little bit. It's not needed. It's just for visual. It's not structural or anything like that. That's how easy that is to remove. And isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like that? Try not to get the glare. Isn't that pretty? And I made this one. I'll show you. Did that one off camera. Same way. And I made this one. Same way. Did I take the liquid? Yeah, I did. And this is the first one I made. Isn't that pretty? So I made a whole set. Yeah, but I probably will be top coating just to smooth out the sides. So I really like that. Let me know what you think. Your likes and your comments really help my channel out a lot. So there is my shaker coaster. Like I said, I was inspired by Michelle at Glitz and Glitter by Michelle. I'll have her channel linked in the description box. Everything I can find, I will link it. And with that, I want to say you all have a great day and God bless. Bye.